This is the Middle Tennessee High School Sports Show with your host, Mike Strasinger.
Hey, welcome back into the second episode of the Middle Tennessee High School Sports Show. Mike Strasinger here along with Jacob Gholson. What's up, Jacob? How are you?
Glad to be back.
All right.
Ready to talk about some high school sports.
All right, that's good. Today we're going to keep things going. We're here at the corner pub in the Woods. Thanks again to Woods Murphy and his staff. This is wonderful. We can't get enough to say enough about the food out here.
Yeah,
obviously,
phenomenal.
I do like to eat. I like it out here. On our last episode, we covered volleyball and soccer. Today we're going to take a good long look at football. So Jacob here is going to dive right in and give us a review of who won it all last year.
So in football, there are 9 different classifications producing 9 state champions. 2 teams won their very first state football title, and we saw 2 more titles from some teams very familiar with championships last season. So last year in Division 1-1A, it was Whitwell over Cornersville, 7-6 in a very tight, low-scoring game. Great defenses on both sides of those teams. It was Whitwell's very first football state championship, big deal for them. In 2A, it was Peabody 17-9 over Trousdale County for their second state championship overall. In 3A, it was Alcoa again for their 4th straight and ridiculous 17th overall title. This time they beat a tough Covington team 21-14. In 4A, Greenville won their second in a row and 4th overall with a 56-21 win over Haywood. In 5A, we saw Knoxville Central win their very first state football championship with a tough and close 14-9 win over Henry County. And then in a dominating win, Oakland shut out Whitehaven 37-0 in 6A to win their 4th state championship. Moving on to Division II, the Single A championship went to Davidson Academy as they won 39-27 over Friendship Christian Academy for their 4th title overall. In Division II AA, CPA knocked off BGA 41-21 to pick up their 4th gold ball at the state championship. And then finally, in Division II AAA, it was Brentwood Academy again with a 28-6 win over Memphis University School, giving BA 4 in a row and their 14th championship overall.
Wow. Nicely done, Jacob.
That's a lot of champions to go over.
Good job. You did very well. All right. Now we're just going to go right into my predictions for the teams in Middle Tennessee. In Division 1A, I think Cornersville will get back to Cookville and probably face Whitwell again. Mount Pleasant and Gordonsville could also make deep runs into the bracket for Middle Tennessee. In 2A, it looks like Watertown, Waverly, and Lewis County have the best chances to make it to Cookville from Middle Tennessee, but I think Peabody or Trousdale County once again will be the champion. In 3A now, like usual, it's going to be who's going to face Alcoa. This year things look wide open. Along with Covington from the west, we're going to have East Nashville and Pearl Cone battling it out from the Middle Tennessee area, Region 5 and 3A. Pearl Cone loaded with athletes once again. East Nashville has a lot of senior leadership coming back. Arondi Thompson and lineman Corey Stewart. Arondi, quarterback Stewart's a big lineman. Both sides, you saw him at Jamboree.
Yeah,
he was a huge guy. I'm going to take East Nashville to win over Pearl Cone.
Wow.
There's a big game October 4th. I think it's at Pearl Cone. The game's going to be huge. Nobody be sleeping on Stratford this year.
Yeah.
Stratford made this deep run last year. Magic Thomas Porter, coach, took over after the second game. They discovered or started using Magic a lot more, and they had an incredible deep run in the playoffs. But nobody's going to be sleeping on them anymore.
Right, they know it's coming.
No surprise this year. So we'll see how the Spartans handle that. Now, other day at Metro Media Day, I caught up with Coach Brian Waite of East Nashville and Thomas Porter of Stratford and Magic Moore, the running back, did this little feature. So take a look at this. All right, I'm back here at Media Days with Coach Brian Waite of the East Nashville Eagles. Now, Coach, last year you made the playoffs. That's great. But I think you left the playoffs a bit earlier than you expected. Do you have what it takes to get back to the playoffs this year and make a deeper run?
We absolutely have what it takes to get back. We were definitely disappointed about the early exit. We felt like last year was definitely a special year for us, but we have a really talented group of seniors. We have about 19 seniors returning. These kids also won the city championship in the 8th grade and 9th grade, respectively. So they understand what it takes to get to the championship level, to play at a championship level. Yes, sir.
All right, so the expectations are high this year once again.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
All right, I think so too. It's great to catch up with you. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Here at Metro Media Day with Coach Thomas Porter of Stratford High School. Now,
Yes,
Coach,
sir.
An incredible year last year, I think. Now, first of all, you took over at I think the second week of the season.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, first of all, let's back up a little bit. Tell me a little bit about your background, your coaching background.
Yes, sir. So I started coaching as a student assistant at Ferrum College in Virginia, and then from there I became a graduate assistant at TSU. Spent 2 years there working under Rod Reed in the offensive line, and then from there I started teaching and coaching in Metro. I started at Ezel Harding, which is outside of Metro, and then moved over to Stratford 3 years ago now.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So now at Stratford, so you get the head coaching job now.
Yes, sir.
You did end up losing your first 6 out of 7. Now some of them were close.
Yes, sir.
6 out of 7, but yet you qualified for the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
And then it seems like something really kind of magical happened, and you made this incredible deep playoff run.
Yes, sir.
Tell us what happened to get the guys on track.
Well, honestly, I mean, we had a really, really tough schedule last year, playing CPA, Father Ryan, some really, really tough private schools, and then in our district, which is tough as well.
Sure.
But with that being said, we had a lot of guys that were just hungry to compete and hungry to get back after it. They never made excuses for themselves, so they kept fighting, and they kept fighting, and once they got the way, they just continued to fight for us, and it started to turn over after the Giles County game, actually.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now in the playoffs, well, let me back up. Earlier in the regular season, you lost to Pearl Cone 55-0.
Yes, sir.
Then you catch them again in the playoffs, and you beat them 32-27. How do you explain such a difference? How a turnaround?
One of our we gave the words of the week for our guys last year, and one of those words were fight. One of them was resilience, and all those words just came together at that perfect time. They weren't afraid of Pearl. They wanted to compete with Pearl because we had some really highly talented guys as well, and they just wanted to come out and compete. And that's what we did that night. We ended up getting the better of them that night, and hopefully we can do it again this year.
I hope so too. Now,
yes, sir.
Honestly, you surprised me, and I think a lot of others around here. But I don't think you're going to be a surprise anymore. James Moore is no longer a secret around town. If he was, he was kind of a secret to me.
Yes,
tell me about James Moore and what he brings to your team.
Well, he's a great young man. He's a great leader, on and off the field. He does a really good job in the classroom, going to class, getting his teammates to do the right thing. But on the field, he's just hungry. He's a guy who's underrated for the most part. Not a lot of college offers yet. But they're on the way, and he works his butt off. I mean, he's one of the strongest guys on our team, but he also works really, really hard at practice.
What year is he?
He's going into a senior year.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And now, besides Mr. Moore and Magic Moore,
yes, sir.
Magic, who else you got coming back that might help you back?
We have a really great senior class. Up front, we have Dwight Menifee, along with Justin House, who's here tonight. We also have Malik Johnson at free safety, who's controlling our defense. He calls it all from the back end, and he does a really good job setting those guys and setting our young corners up to be successful.
All right. Do you think you have what it takes to not only get back to the playoffs, but make another deep run?
Yes, sir. Our last word of the week last year was expected. We aren't the surprise anymore. Everything we have to get is it has to be earned. So we've been working really hard this summer. We've been pushing ourselves. We've been working. We've been running, lifting, and our guys are really, really hungry to get back. They're not satisfied. That's our hashtag right now. Is not satisfied.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Thanks so much. We'll
no problem. Thank you.
Metro Media Day with James Magic Moore. Now, James, do you want James or Magic? What do you like?
You can call me Magic.
All right, Magic. I like it. That was actually my nickname in high school, too.
Yeah.
I swear. All right. Now, James, looking back at last year's numbers, I got them right here. 2,273 yards rushing and 25 touchdowns. Is that accurate? Is that real?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you were a bit of a surprise to me and maybe some others and had this late, just incredible run of big yardage games, big touchdown games, and I think it propelled your team to the playoffs. Was that surprising to you, or was that something you knew you were capable of?
It was surprising.
It was a surprise.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Stratford themselves made a deep run in the playoffs. Now, you're not a surprise or a secret anymore. Do you think that will help you or hurt you going on?
It helped me.
Okay. Do you think people will be gearing their offenses towards you now?
Yeah.
I bet they will.
Yes,
They
sir.
will. Okay, and do you, besides yourself, does your team have what it takes to get back to the playoffs and make another deep run?
Yes, sir.
All right, and now yourself, you're getting some looks now after these from colleges after these numbers you put up?
Yes, sir.
All right, and anything you'd like to schools you might hope to get to?
My favorite school is Ohio State.
Okay, well, hope they're watching.
Yes, sir.
We'll be watching. I hope you have another great season, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Magic. All right, thanks to Coach Brian Waite and Thomas Porter and Magic Moore. I really like that kid. He's going to do great things.
Yeah.
He's really cool. Now going into 4A, it looks like Springfield has a great chance of getting to Cookeville. But Marshall County and Nolensville will have something to say about it. I think they're both improved. They should get there, have a shot at getting there. But it looks like Greenville out of East Tennessee is going to be loaded again and probably win it all. This year, I think Haywood, if Haywood makes it, I think they will. Haywood will give them a better game this year, I think. Now moving on to 5A, Knoxville Central and Henry County faced off last year, but they have a shot at getting back, obviously. But around here, Beach and Hillsborough in the same region, whoever wins that region, I think, has a real shot of winning it all. Beach returns senior running back Jashawn Parks. At Hillsborough, you saw him the other night, Brian Covington, their speedster. He's got a chance to go all the way every time he touches the ball. So Hillsborough and Beach, they have a big region game. That's going to be something to watch. And like I said, whoever wins that game, I think, obviously has the fast track to the region championship.
Right.
But don't sleep on Gallatin either. They're improved. So I like them. And also around here, Page High School, Page Patriots, I've been around these guys a little bit this summer. And they got a really cool Friday night lights feel about them. They're a great bunch of kids. They have a lot of fun. They're real tight. And they really throw the ball around a lot. They're a lot of fun. So if the Page has a shot as well. All right, 6A. Now these are the big guys. It's the big schools: Oakland, Blackman, Maryville, Cane Ridge, Mount Juliet, Brentwood, Ravenwood. Did I say them right? All these teams have a legitimate shot. Ravenwood, we're going to talk about that a little bit. They have this incredible big man, Reggie Grimes. You may have heard of him. I've heard about him. He's a transfer. He's got his transfer problems worked out. He came over from Mount Juliet. They worked it all out. He is going to be playing for Ravenwood. And I was at a 7-on-7 passing thing a couple weeks ago, and this young man walks in, and I didn't know who it was, but he's one of these guys. I was like, wow. And I asked, who's that? And they're like, that's Reggie Grimes. I'm like, okay, I get it. And it reminded me, years ago, I was on the sidelines at Vanderbilt. They were playing Florida, and I was changing his. I literally ran into Javon Hurst,
Wow.
the freak. And it was OMG, huge, just an unbelievable specimen, and that's the way Reggie Grimes is. He's phenomenal, and they line him up on both sides of the ball, offense, defense, at different positions. He's incredible.
He can do it all.
He absolutely can, and they've got a ton of other players too. We don't have time to talk about them all, but one of them, Brian Garcia, their quarterback. This guy reminds me of Johnny Manziel from A&M back in the day. Johnny Football. The way he moves, throws the ball on the run, makes things happen. He's an incredible athlete. I just hope he behaves himself off the field, not like Johnny Football.
Yeah.
Coach Matt Daniels, I think, is going to be the team to beat with Ravenwood this year. Now, the quality of football in Tennessee keeps getting better and better. In 5A and 6A, Division II, all these players together, they've got Tennessee football ranked 7th by Max Preps now in the country for the amount of D1 prospects we have. So we're right there, just under Florida, Georgia, Texas, California, the big guys.
And we're trending up too.
Absolutely. Now speaking a little bit about Division II athletes, we'll take a look at the private schools now. In Division IIA, it looks like it's going to come down to Friendship Christian and Davidson Academy. These two teams seem to be there a lot. I think they've split the last 2 years. Davidson Academy loses Jawan Hewitt, who's at Purdue now, but I think they'll have enough to get back. Friendship has Coach John McNeil is in his 30th season.
Wow.
There, so I like their chances. Now, as an underdog, Mount Juliet Christian Academy with Coach Dan Davis does a great job. Coach Davis came from Pearl Cone, did his work there. He was there with 9 years of Pearl Cone. He's got a great defensive coordinator, Tommy Wilson, and they do a phenomenal job with those kids. They can make a deep run, but don't sleep on Nashville Christian. So it's kind of wide open there. So moving on now to Division II AA, Jacob, check this out. Here's a little history for you. Back in the day, NBA was coached by Ricky Bowers. Back in like late 90s, early 2000s, they had Ingle Martin on the team and Jonas Rodriguez, two great players. And now Ingle Martin is the coach at CPA, and Jonas Rodriguez is the coach at BGA. Wow. Rock Batten has left BGA to go to Ensworth. And so all this is coming together.
It's all connected.
It is. And CPA now, with Ingle Martin and Jonas Rodriguez at BGA, could be facing off each other as former teammates now, coaching against each other. And I think that's what's going to come down to.
That could be a good story if it unfolds.
I really think it's going to. A lot of talent on both sides. Ingle Martin has his CPA team loaded again. They lost a lot to graduation, but they just reload. He's got a great system over there. They just plug players in. And in fact, last night I called Ingle and asked him or texted him, who's going to be your QB1? I need to know. I'm fixing to do this show. And he's like, we got a lot of quarterbacks. I'm like, come on, man. But that's the truth. They've got a lot of players. They just move them around. They can all do multiple things. They're very smart, intelligent players, and they're great athletes. So I think CPA will have what it takes to get back. But BGA might have a fight, something to say about it. At BGA, they've got Eric Semptenfelter at quarterback, Garnet Hollis at cornerback, and Antonio Stevens at safety. Lots of talent. Those guys are getting a lot of looks from the D1 ranks. FRA might have something to say about it with quarterback Sean Casey, now a senior. And then they got this young athlete. You're going to hear a lot about him. It's Jeffrey Vircher. He's a smaller guy, but he's strong, he's fast, he's quick, and he didn't get a lot of time last year, but this year could be a breakout season for him. And speedster Will Johnson at wideout, if they can get the ball in his hands in the open field, he's gone. Now, former NFL quarterback Trent Dilfer takes over at Lipscomb Academy, and he's surrounded himself with a bunch of great coaches from the area. Now, we'll just see if he can get it done with what he's got over there. Big expectations and great excitement now over at Lipscomb with the new coach. Now, on to Division II, AAA, things have changed a bit. There's a new member. Knoxville Catholic used to be Division I, now they're in Division II. So that forced a realignment of sorts. So what they've got now in the East region, it's Baylor, BA, Ensworth, Father Ryan, Knoxville Catholic, and McCauley. Then on the West, Briarcrest Christian Brothers, MUS, MBA, Pope John Paul II, and St. Benedict are now in the West. And what this is going to take some getting used to. There's going to be a few scheduling things that we aren't used to. For instance, this year, Father Ryan and MBA won't be playing this year. And this is the first time since anybody can remember they haven't played, really. But that's the way it is. Some like it, some don't. Anyway, most people like Brentwood Academy to get it done again. They won 4 in a row. They're loaded with talent again. But I'm going to just say, I'm probably wrong, but I think that this year's champion will be someone other than BA. MUS, McCauley, Ensworth, Knox-Webb, MBA, they all have the talent and the coaching to get it done. But don't bet against BA. Jacob, that's going to wrap it up for football.
All right.
So why don't you take us out here and tell people how to find us, what to do next?
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe down below. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at MTHS Sports Show. We'll be back tomorrow talking about golf and cross country, so be there. We'll see you then.
Awesome.